The Cardiff tent murder. Stephen White had just been released from prison 4 days prior to him taking a man's life. On November 23rd, 2021, 44-year-old Stephen White was at the Huggard Centre in Cardiff, which was a centre for homeless people. Now, reports say that Stephen White was struggling to cope with civilian life. He couldn't cope being a free man. He even was heard telling people before the stabbing, "I need to go back to jail." So of course he needed a victim, and that's where Jordan was in. So Stephen White followed the victim, 31-year-old Jordan Cody, to a tent outside the centre, which was frequently used for drug taking. Now Jordan was already in a tent, so Stephen entered the tent and a struggle ensued. Of course, they had a fight. A few seconds later, Jordan Cody was seen running from the tent, staggering, where sadly he collapsed moments later, bleeding out from a stab wound to the right side of his neck. Now Stephen White left the tent with a knife in his hand, and members of the public tried to disarm him, but what Stephen did was stood over Jordan and laughed. He actually laughed, because that's the kind of sick person Stephen was. A witness said that Stephen was heard saying things like, "You're not a bad man anymore, are you?" Now just for context, the night before the murder, both Jordan and Stephen were in temporary accommodation, along with other people. They had both brought drugs in order to use and sell, but during the evening, £100 worth of Class A drugs was stolen from Stephen, and of course he was fuming, and of course he blamed Jordan, even though there were other people in the vicinity. Now Jordan Cody was stabbed in the neck, and while he lay dying, Stephen took Jordan's bike and rode to Cardiff Bay. He entered the ARGOS to buy a radio and a book, luxury items he could take back to prison, because now he had fulfilled his wish. Now Stephen White, of no fixed address, pleaded not guilty to murder, and he actually went to trial. But during his cross-examination, he made an outburst. It was erratic and dramatic. He said, "I intended to kill him. He needed to die. He was bullying me, and he was taking a mick, so I snapped. It was just it. It was his own fault. He shouldn't have messed around. He bullied the wrong person, and it's wrong that I'm here." Now Jordan changed his plea the next day from not guilty to guilty, and he appeared at Cardiff Crown Court via video link from H&P Bristol, and Stephen White was jailed for 26 years. For nothing, for killing a man just because he wanted to go back to prison. Condolences. Stay safe. Safe.